Good morning, I'm Darius Johnson. We're live at the Arvada Police Department where there is a growing memorial marking 1 year since Officer Gordon Beasley and Good Samaritan Johnny Hurley were both killed in Old Town. It was June 21st, 2021 when police say a gunman targeting Arvada officers ambushed Officer Gordon Beasley with an AR-15. A Good Samaritan nearby, Johnny Hurley, quickly responded, killing the shooter. The responding officer thought Hurley was the shooter and then killed him. Today, the mayor is asking people to stop by the department to pay their respects to both of those men lost and also to support the Arvada Police Department. So far, there is a rose on the windshield of this vehicle. There's also a flag honoring Officer Beasley as well. This memorial will sit here all day long. We're live outside the Arvada Police Department. I'm Darius Johnson for 9 News Mornings.
It is now 6:03 on your Tuesday morning, and the father who sadly died in the I-70 suspected street racing shooting was the assistant fire chief of the Glen Haven Area Volunteer Fire Department. This morning, Aurora police are still looking for the suspect.
9 News reporter Angeline McCall talked with a co-worker and friend about the life of Assistant Chief John Jaros.
For nearly 10 years, Assistant Chief John Jaros spent serving his community as a volunteer firefighter in Larimer County. The Glen Haven Area Volunteer Fire Department says he was the person killed this weekend. While driving on I-70 in Aurora with his family, he was shot and killed. Aurora police say it may have been connected to street racers. Police don't know if Jaros was caught in the crossfire or if the truck was targeted. A co-worker says he always responded to the call. Even working on the Cameron Peak fire, he was always protecting others. To those who knew and loved him, John went by the nickname Cowboy. He was dedicated to his community and dedicated to his wife and children. Described as a family man, he made sure to teach his children just how important it is to be giving. One friend shared this memory that John's oldest would help out doing small jobs. When he was offered money, he took his pay, sat down, and organized it and put the money in 3 categories. 10% to save, 10% to help others, and the rest was his to keep. John also ran his own business. His friend says he was just the kind of person that would spread a positive impact anywhere he would go.
APD is still looking for the people involved in the shooting. Police say the potential street racers were in a white sedan and a black sedan, but that's all the information that they've shared. There are funds set up to help the Jaros family, and if you'd like to give, we have all the information on our website.
The first person to issue a same-sex marriage license in the United States did so back in 1975 from Boulder County. LGBTQ+ ally Cleela Rorick sadly passed away over the weekend at 78 years old.
That one brave act changed the course of history for so many of us, and that it took 40+ years for the Supreme Court to catch up.
After issuing that first license, Rorick issued 5 more before Colorado's Attorney General told her to stop. She resigned as county clerk in 1977, but her support for the LGBTQ+ community only grew over time. A celebration of life is being planned for July 23rd. That would have been her 79th birthday.
New this morning, Russia says that it cannot guarantee that the American veterans captured in Ukraine won't face the death penalty. The spokesperson for Russian President Vladimir Putin said, quote, "It depends on the investigation." Alexander Druki and Andy Wynn have been missing for at least a week. There may be a 3rd American detained in Russia. Marine veteran Grady Kerpasi has not been heard from since April 23rd. His family says that they have not gotten substantial updates from the State Department about him. They're trying to do their own research to track him down. This morning, the State Department also apologizing for an error that kept WNBA star Brittany Griner from speaking to her wife. She's in Russia, where she's been detained since February. She made multiple attempts to contact her wife in the U.S., but the State Department says she was never able to reach her because of an unexplained logistical error. Russian officials claim Griner was carrying cannabis oil in an airport and was smuggling significant amounts of a narcotic substance.
And today, the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol will resume their hearings. They're going to focus on former President Trump's efforts to pressure state officials to try and overturn election results. Georgia's Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is going to speak. He received a phone call from then President Trump urging him to find enough votes to make Trump the winner. That hearing is expected to get started around 11 o'clock this morning, our time. You can watch that right here on 9 News. Also today, the Routt National Forest is hosting a virtual public meeting to learn about the expected rainbow family family gathering. The Rainbow family of Living Light selected the Adams Park area of Northwest Routt County for its 50th anniversary gathering. It is expected to line up with the 4th of July holiday, and people are already arriving for that. The Rainbow family is a loose-knit group of people who gather annually on a national forest. The event is expected to draw around 10,000 visitors, and they describe their events as a celebration of nature and life, but there are some major concerns about what a massive crowd could do to public lands. They've been to Colorado twice now, once in 1972 and then again in 2006. The USDA Forest Service has mobilized a national incident management team to protect the health and safety of everyone who is involved in that event and to lessen environmental impacts.
This morning, new developments from Denver City Council. The city will continue using 140 rooms at a loft hotel for the high-risk homeless population. The resolutions will extend the emergency occupancy agreement through the end of 2022. The city began providing food and shelter at the hotel at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, but with the recent uptick in cases, the city wants to keep providing this option. And homeowners associations will be required to notify residents of foreclosure rights. The Denver City Council approved the bill Monday night. It was introduced after at least 50 homes in the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood foreclosed over unpaid HOA fines. If the HOA doesn't address or keep proper documentation of these citations, homeowners can unknowingly accumulate thousands of dollars in fines. Finally, the Denver City Council approved an ordinance exempting all diapers, including those for adults, from City and County of Denver's sales tax. The Colorado State Legislature passed a law during the 2022 session exempting menstrual products and diapers from state sales tax, but cities have to choose whether to apply that exemption to local sales tax.